You have 250,000 potential leads right now, not hidden in some expensive marketing software, not locked behind a paid ads account. They're sitting in your Facebook friends list. Here's the math. If you have 500 Facebook friends and each of them has 500 friends, that's 250,000 people you can reach. People who already have a reason to trust you more than some random business they've never heard of. But here's what most people get wrong. They think their close friends and family are their best leads. Turns out that's completely backwards. And today I'm going to show you why your most valuable connections are people you barely remember meeting. This comes from research that's been around since 1973. A paper called The Strength of Weak Ties argued something counterintuitive. Your success depends more on peripheral contacts and vague acquaintances than on your closest friends. Your inner circle has almost nothing to do with your professional success. Malcolm Gladwell built his best selling book, The Tipping Point, around this idea, and it changes everything about how you should think about your social network. Today, you're going to learn three things. First, why that person you met once at a party 5 years ago is more valuable than your best friend when it comes to business. Second, a simple daily strategy that turns your Facebook profile into a lead generation machine without being spammy. And third, how to structure your personal and business presence online so they actually work together. Let's get into it. Let me tell you a story that perfectly illustrates what we're talking about. There's a guy who was procrastinating one day when a Facebook notification popped up. Someone had tagged him in a fitness video. Here's the thing, this was a woman he went on one date with in high school. He was probably 15 at the time. They became Facebook friends years later in university. They never spoke, not once. She never commented on his posts, never liked anything. He never interacted with her either. They didn't even have any mutual friends anymore. But when she saw a funny exercise video, he was the only person she tagged. To her, he was the fitness guy. Why? Because he had consistently posted about fitness on Facebook. That's it. Now think about what this means. Maybe nothing happens from that tag. Or maybe she knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who wants to become a personal trainer. And now they're going to hear about this guy's site, his books, his courses. This is the power of weak ties. You cannot measure this directly, but it's scalable. And it's exactly what happens when you put yourself in the best position to catch a lucky break. Rory Sutherland, who is vice president at Ogilvy UK, said something brilliant about this. He said Facebook is about nothing if it's not about serendipity. Coincidence, the happy accident, the shared admission, it's all about increasing your chances of becoming the lucky victim of a happy accident. Your chances of success start and finish with how lucky you get. So do everything you can to increase those chances. Now, here's the practical part. How do you actually turn this into a system? First, you need to start adding every single person you meet to your social network, not just the people who seem important, everyone. The person you chatted with at a conference, the friend of a friend you met at a barbecue, the person next to you on a flight who you had a nice conversation with. Remember, every person you meet has their own network, and every person in their network has their own network. If somebody who needs what you offer, you need to be the person who gets that call. But here's where most people mess this up. They either do nothing with their network or they start spamming. Both are wrong. The spammy approach kills your reach fast. Posting sales messages on people's walls, tagging people in promotional notes so it shows up on their public feed, that gets your content blocked quicker than anything. The passive approach is almost as bad. Mindless scrolling doesn't build your business, it just wastes time. So here's what actually works. Two things you need to do consistently. First, actively promote someone else every day. Doesn't matter if they're in your industry or not. Have a friend in a band, promote her show. Notice that somebody you went to grade school with just wrote a blog post, share it. This builds goodwill and keeps you visible in a positive way. Second, and this is the key strategy, post one tip or piece of advice related to your area of expertise every single day. Call it your tip of the day. Make it personal, keep it short, no more than 3 or 4 lines, and end each tip with a soft call to action. Here's an example of what this looks like. Let's say you're in fitness. You might write, fitness tip of the day. Skincare is much better accomplished from what you eat than what you put on your skin. Drinking water, taking fish oil, and eating healthy fats like avocado and raw nuts beats moisturizers any day. Feel free to message me if you or a friend ever has any fitness related questions. That's it. Simple, helpful, not pushy. Even if you don't get responses right away, your tips start to resonate with people in your network. Within weeks, You'll be the person contacted when someone has a question related to your expertise. When your friends are ready to buy what you're selling, they'll buy from you. And as a bonus, they'll start sending you referrals when they hear of someone interested in your business. The goal is simple: every single person in your extended network needs to know what you do. Your success depends on whether you can stay at the top of their mind long enough so that when they or somebody they know needs your service or product, you're the one who gets the call. Marketing is about staying at the top of someone's mind for long enough so that when they decide to buy, you're the first person they think of. Now, let's talk about the professionalism and privacy balance. You've probably been building up your Facebook profile for years, collecting friends, adding content, some of it professional, some of it, well, maybe not so professional. Here's what I recommend: your existing profile becomes your business profile. Go through it and delete any party photos or content you deem unprofessional, whatever that means to you. From now on, this is the profile you use to send friend requests to everyone you meet, but you still want a personal space, right? A place to be yourself with close friends and family. Create a separate profile under a pseudonym. Send a message to your 40 or so closest people and ask them to connect with you there. This becomes your personal hangout. It's private, it's where you can be less polished. If you're at a party, ask your close friends and family to only tag your pseudonym account in pictures. Monitor your professional personal account closely. Keep it clean. Now let's talk about business pages because this is where most people completely miss the point. Most business pages are graveyards, a long list of posts, articles, and news releases that nobody cares about. They're impersonal. They don't give anything to the reader. Having high follower numbers doesn't matter much if nobody engages. You need a critical mass so that when you do something worth sharing, it actually spreads. Depending on your industry, that's usually around 10 to 15,000 followers. But once you hit that number, chasing higher follower counts without growth and engagement and sales is just vanity. The biggest mistake business page owners make is focusing on the business or brand instead of the message or idea it represents. Ask yourself these questions: why does your company exist? What does it stand for? What are you passionate about? Who are you against? What else might fans of your page be interested in? This is what your page must focus on. Your products come second. Here's an example: there's a site called the Personal Trainer Development Center. It sells information that helps personal trainers make more money, help more people, and have more freedom. That's the product. But that's not what drives their social media success. What drives it is this message: the fitness industry is one of the most persuasive, dishonest, and untrusted industries in the world. It shouldn't be that way. Fitness is preventative health. Personal trainers are at the forefront of the exercise is medicine movement. The site stands for integrity, honesty, and truth in an industry where deceit is everywhere. That's a movement. You're either with them or against them. That's why people share their content. That's why people feel like they're part of something. When they share an article, they don't just post a link. They write something like, if you take personal training seriously, you have to read this. And then they link to an article about researching supplements properly. The reason they don't just share the article with a generic description is that it wouldn't make them stand out. It wouldn't give anyone a reason to pay more attention to them than the next guy. There are going to be a lot of people saying similar things to you, so you have to be clear about who you're for and who you're against. Always communicate that message. Your content supports it. One more thing I want to address: some people feel like posting tips and being active on social media is wasting time. Let me challenge that. There's an old story about Henry Ford. An efficiency expert walked into his office, excited about a discovery. He told Ford about an employee sitting with his feet on his desk, apparently doing nothing. The expert recommended firing him. Ford calmly responded, "That man once had an idea that saved me $1 million." When he got it, his feet were right where they are now. The need to always appear busy plagues our society. But are you really wasting time on Facebook when you're building relationships and staying top of mind with 250,000 potential leads? I don't think so. Let's bring this all together. First, your weak ties are more valuable than your strong ones. That person you met once 5 years ago is more likely to lead to a business opportunity than your best friend. Add everyone you meet to your network. Second, use the tip of the day strategy. Post one helpful tip related to your expertise every single day. End with a soft call to action. No spam, just value. Third, separate your personal and professional presence. Use your real profile for business connections. Create a pseudonym account for close friends and family. Fourth, If you have a business page, make it about a movement, not just your products. Stand for something. Be clear about who you're for and who you're against. Your 250,000 leads are already there. You've been building this network for years. Now it's time to actually use it. If this changed how you think about your social network, let me know in the comments. Tell me what industry you're in and what your first tip of the day might be. I'd love to see what you come up with. And if you want more strategies like this for building your personal brand and growing your business, make sure you're subscribed. I've got more videos coming that go even deeper into these ideas. I'll see you in the next.